Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. These art lessons are taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I hope you have fun, create imaginative works of art, and make sure you share them with someone because, after all, the visual arts are meant to be seen. Fourth grade HOB artists, I'm super excited to make this project with you today. We're going to be starting a 2-day project called Worry Dolls. In this picture right here, you can see some worry dolls. Some of you might even have had some before, but I want you to do something for me. Listed on the screen there is a link to a story called Silly Billy. I know the link isn't clickable in the video, so down in the description there will be another link that you can click on to go to that story, or you can type in the web address copying it from here. But I would like for you to listen to the story called Silly Billy before you start our project. So go do that and then come right back. All right, I hope you enjoyed that story. It is so sad how worried Billy was about everything, but I'm so glad that he was able to find some peace using his worry dolls. So, worry dolls are tiny handcrafted dolls from Guatemala. The dolls are usually clothed in traditional Mayan costumes, and they stand about 1/2 to 2 inches tall. The Guatemalan artists bind pieces of wood together or twist together short lengths of wire to create the frame that makes the torso, legs, arms, and head. By winding cloth and yarn around the frame, the artists give the doll their shape. They can use scraps of traditional fabric to make the doll's costumes, and they'll wind even more yarn around to create the hair, the head, the feet, and the hands. Sometimes they add a tiny woven basket or other traditional implements. Finally, they place a set of 6 to 12 in a tiny wooden box or a cloth pouch, and then they sell them. This is a little story that you sometimes get if you get yourself a little set of worry dolls. The legend says there is a Mayan story that tells that when a person cannot sleep due to worrying, they can express their worries to their worry doll, place it under their pillow, and then go to sleep. The worry doll is thought to worry in the place of the person, therefore permitting the person to sleep peacefully. The person will wake up without their worries, which have been taken away by the worry doll during the night. Here are some pictures of some little sets of worry dolls that if you were to purchase them, they might look something like this. So just like the worry dolls in the images you just saw, they live and rest in a little pouch or a little box. So we're going to get started today by making our own little pouch that we can store our worry dolls in. So I'm starting with a long, thin piece of paper. The size really doesn't matter, so whatever size paper you have. And I'm using a piece of tape to tape the edge closed. I'm also going to use a piece of tape to tape the second edge closed. But I am not going to tape the top edge because I want that to remain open so I can slip my little worry dolls into here. Once you have it all taped up and everything looks good, check to make sure the pouch opens nicely. And then finally, you can decorate your pouch however you choose. You can use crayons, colored pencils, markers, whatever makes you happy to create a fun little home for your worry dolls to live in. So this project requires some untraditional supplies. I'm going to use something called a pipe cleaner here. If you don't have a pipe cleaner, then you might need to get some for this project, or just watch now, and then when you have some pipe cleaners, go ahead and join me in making one. All right, so I'm going to start with a 12-inch pipe cleaner. Then I'm going to put a little bend in it at 9 inches. I'll then cut right where the little bend is using my scissors, but don't lose those pieces. You need both of them to make your worry doll. Next, I'm going to pick up the larger piece and I'm going to bend it in half, lining up the two ends just like this, but don't squish that top part. Leave it rounded like that. Actually, put your finger or a pencil or a pen or a marker inside of there. That's going to form the head for us in a moment. After you've done that, twist around the pipe cleaner or your finger so that you get a little head, and where you've twisted becomes the worry doll's little neck. At the bottom of those lengths, I want you to bend 2 little feet. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to pick up the smaller piece. This is going to become the 2 arms. Now this part's weird. I want you to lay this behind your little worry doll. And I want it to look like he has 1 long arm and 1 short arm. I know, that's weird, but do that for me. Now I want you to take the long arm, wrap it all the way around, and then back over to the side where it started. By doing that, you should end up with 2 arms that are the same size. It works out perfect. And then of course you can bend 2 little hands. Okay, next we're going to put some clothes on our little guys. I'm going to start by getting my glue bottle ready, taking off some of the dry glue. I need a liquid type glue this time, so like that Elmer's glue is perfect. And I need some yarn. So I'm going to take my yarn, lay it right across my little worry doll's head here, and I'm going to start wrapping around his neck, then around the arms. And what I'm doing is, by me wrapping, I'm creating clothes. So I'm just going to keep wrapping all the way around one arm, then over to the other arm, back down to his armpits, and then finally around his torso, which includes his tummy, all the way down to wherever his hips would be, because that's usually where people's shirts end. Then all the way back up, and I'm going to keep going until I've used up my length of yarn. Because often you want him to look a little bit thicker. You don't want him to be so skinny. So I just keep wrapping and using up my length of yarn. Now this last part is a little tricky and requires a bit of patience. When you get to the end of your yarn, you're going to take that little end piece there and see if you can tuck it under one of the other loops of yarn that are holding it together here. And then if you can, that's great, tuck it under, but then still put a little dab of glue over top of where you've tucked it. And I usually put the dab of glue and then use my finger to push the glue into the yarn. At first, it seems like the yarn is just getting sticky and wet, but I promise you, if you let that glue dry until it's clear, it will stick, and it will stick really well for you. Okay, so now working on the pants, it's pretty much the same thing, except you're going down one leg and then the other. I usually go ahead and pull those legs apart for right now. It just makes it a little bit easier. All right, so I'm going to start at the waist, so going around where the shirt ended, and then I'm going to start working my way down one leg, back up that same leg, and then down the other leg and back up the other leg too. Okay, and then just tuck that little end in as best you can, and then once it's been tucked in, apply a little dab of glue over that and it will hold it. It won't seem like it is right now, but as that glue dries, it will definitely dry clear and nice and strong. Okay, so there you have your half-finished worry doll for today. We'll finish it together next time, so put this little guy in a safe place and come back here next week at the Heart of a Viking to make the next part of your worry doll.